Okay. Okay. Okay, okay. Okay, okay, okay. Let's see what we can do with this sphere again. Okay. Okay. Bum 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 ba-dum. Bum 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 ba-dum. Oh, I didn't know that it actually pushes your emojis. Welcome, Brax. Huh. Whoops. Whoopsie daisies. Welcome, 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 my friend. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You know what? Since yesterday it was one stream ball, let me do 2 stream balls today. Okay? For the thumbnail, I mean. Let's do something like this. Print screen. Let's get back the chat. Let's get back the face. Okay. Hopefully it doesn't keep crashing, because, you know, we don't need it crashing. We don't need it crashing. Let's restart one more time real quick, just to see if it's stable. And it is. Let me drink some coffee. Let me sip a little bit of that coffee and really quickly make the thumbnail. Well, welcome, Striking Crayon. Welcome, my friend. Let me save these orbs. What is today's date? Today is 2nd of June. No, July. 02/07/2026. You are most definitely welcomed, yes. Today is yet still the 1st. Well, you're in the old world. Because if you look at the map, when you see if you see where Latvia is, it's on the right side, which means that we are for some reason in the future. We are for some reason in the future. Future. Sorry about that. I know that some people watch this as a background noise, so I gotta limit all the noises that I do. But about the coffee noises, I don't know. If I do it like this, maybe it's fine, you know? How about that fable? How about that fable coming out? Right? Now, long story short, I used Fable this morning and immediately effed up all my limits. It just burned through everything. All my Claude limits. And I didn't see any big difference. I feel like Trump was indeed doing some sort of a marketing for... yeah, Claude Fable, yeah. He was doing marketing because they banned it, and then I tested it, and it's kind of like, yeah, okay. I don't know, maybe I don't have enough big enough nuts to crack or something for it. So, you know, I don't know. I did not feel the Fable being, better. I just didn't. Fable Sans coding seems like the whole thing is partially at least a pump for the capital collections. Wow, that's, that's a little too deep over here. What do you mean by sans coding? I will have to lurk in today's stream, says Mike Winterborn. No problem, just lurk it. Fable without coding. Keep up with China's industrial win. I was looking at how many models are used from China overall globally, and it was just almost nothing. And I thought, how is China still losing? They should be winning already. How do they still not have the models? I don't get it. They don't care about pollution. They don't care about anything. They don't care about, workers' rights. They should be. I guess that's not enough, Are they hiding their models? I have no idea. I don't know. I would imagine that if they had like insane models, we would feel it or something, I think. Most of China's big models are open source. But I have to say that coding has become a joy for me, because I still fiddle with the code by hand, but whenever there's a lot of like repetitive stuff that needs to be written, yeah, the machine do be writing it. And it feels very natural, honestly. It feels like, you know what? It feels like like exactly like it should be to me. It feels like if I don't understand what's going on, I'm gonna be in a pickle. If I understand what's going on, but I let the machine do the work that I understand, it's awesome. It feels like there's no downside if we ignore all of the, power, electricity, all that jazz. And by power, I mean not electric power, but real power in the world, I took 2 years off vibe coding because I had to for OPSEC stuff and compliance and work. But now I'm getting back into it. So much fun. Yeah. You know what I wonder? I wonder if the term vibe coding is gonna survive, because who is top? It's Cassiopeia. You know what? Gluttonous Greaves are awesome on Yorick, by the way. I've been trying to test. I've been testing them, and they are absolutely awesome. Yeah, absolutely awesome. I wonder if the term vibe coding is gonna survive because it had this bad connotation. Yeah, I took Yorick into Cassiopeia. Oh, he says why. Well, ED, what ED? Didn't have a choice. Because vibe coding did have this bad connotation to it. I think it started off with a good connotation, and people felt like, oh, it's vibes. And then they saw that all the stuff that it produced was horrible. Although exciting for a second, it was horrible at the end. Why is she dead, by the way? She's supposed to be desperada, not just dead, you know? Will die out. Yeah, but I wonder, sometimes terms survive, you know? Sometimes they survive, and I don't know. I would say it's 60-40 in the sense that in favor of not surviving. Machine coding. I really resonated with something that the guy said, Pavel Durov, I think, the Telegram guy. I don't know where he says these things because he's in these conferences, you know, and he just kind of says these gems, right? But one of the gems that he said that really resonated with me, he said that we should stop learning AI coding and we should start learning math and physics. And I thought, wow, that's actually, that is so, I don't know why exactly, but it really resonated with me. Okay. Does she even lift here? Because she doesn't seem to be lifting at all, honestly. Okay. She's gonna get level 2 and I'm gonna die, so I gotta be really careful. Yeah, she's looking for it, I think. Yeah, she's looking for it. There's no doubt about it. Gotcha. Got your strategy. Gotcha. And yeah, because I've kind of always, before AI, when I would learn something coding wise, right? Oh, she also has it. Man, please let me survive. Oh no. Very unlucky. Very unlucky. It was probably like barely just a tiny number, you know? Is why we're going back to just writing everything in assembly. I saw that Elon Musk said something about writing everything in assembly, and people got mad and they said he's dumb because that's not how machines work. And I think that people were just instinctively mad at him because they don't like him. But at the same time, I wonder how much they are right, because people don't code in assembly. And if models are trained on non-assembly code, obviously they can't write in assembly. So I wonder how much that is true. Okay. Did she actually freeze it? I think she did. Wow, that's, but it's fine because I will have everything here. She's gonna get a bit nibbled. Yeah, there we go. And now I think it may break, but we'll see. I might have to use E on that cannon. There we go. FFmpeg is in assembly. Oh, I just watched a video about FFmpeg and it was so awesome. I love thinking about kind of like olden days, and everybody likes nostalgia, right? But I think that now that we will have this, let me put it this way. I was watching old YouTube videos and I was thinking, it feels so good knowing that this is real. You know, if you see a video on YouTube and it's like 15 years old, okay, careful. You know that most of the effects there are just either handmade or everything is just real, you know, that you see there. And it felt like, I don't know, it felt like a layer on my mind is freed up. You know, I don't have to scan all the time for, oh, is this AI? Oh, is this AI? And I kind of felt like, what if, you know, watching older videos is going to kind of come back because of this reason, because it felt more tangible, you know, watching them. You know that video where the guy is at the zoo? Oh, man. Is she really going to kill me again? What? No, she's not. The guy's at the zoo, one of the first videos over all time, right? And, whoops, I can't get this. She was trying it. Well, you know, well played. Well played. And I watched that video again, you know, it's called literally Me at the Zoo. And I just felt some peace, you know, because, again, as I said, it felt like it's real. And I know it's real. I don't have to kind of prove it or just know the person or anything. I just look at the video and I think, okay, the guy's at the zoo. There are some monkey bars in the background. Not the monkey bars, but the... oh, is he gonna... Yeah, he's gonna F me up. I'm gonna recall like this, but I don't think I can, because he's gonna, out of principle, he's gonna interrupt me. And I could trust the video, you know? Post-truth, yeah, there's something about it. And my opinion used to be always that, not always, but whenever AI came out and people got really mad about the fact that it's going to be able to, you know, basically show anything, and we will never be able to tell truth from non-truth. My opinion was always that it's going to be the same as Photoshop. You're just not going to trust anything and it's going to be fine. But now I've discovered this feeling that, yes, I cannot trust it, and it's fine because you know, it's the same as pictures. When Photoshop came out, you just couldn't trust pictures anymore. Just images, static images. And, whoops, there we go. Okay. And for me, that part of the equation was never the problem. I kind of thought, okay, fine, I'm not going to trust videos. But I never really considered that it has like this mental weight on you, that every time you see something on the internet, you just kind of have to scan and think, oh, what if this is just, you know, nothing? What if I'm looking at just smoke and mirrors, you know? What if that's the, you know, the case? And it really does, and that's, I suggest you watch old videos. You have, YouTube actually has these very cool commands that you can use. For example, I don't remember what it was, but it's something like time : before, and then you write in the date, and then you say vlog, for example, and then after something else, right? And it just gives you all the videos in that time span. And then you can kind of see, oh, what did the first vloggers even look like? It's absolutely awesome to do this. I should do that on stream a little bit. I should do that on stream to watch old videos. Maybe not too old, you know, too long, but why is she... Oh, she has that thing. Man, I hate that thing. That little... I used to like it when I played Gragas mid. Almost. Okay. There's a real thirst, I think, for real life in certain people right now. I wonder how kids feel. I feel like kids don't care that much. They just live their lives and they don't think that anything is or could have been different. Whoops. If she uses it, yeah. She knew it. She knew that she has to flash now. She has 1 kill, by the way. Yorick be stronger, you know? Very unlucky early game, though. I don't know what the Malzahar are doing here. Nah, it's pretty bad. Okay. Lost my train of thought, honestly. If you care to remind me, do. If you don't, then don't. It's a natural evolution of thoughts on this channel. What you doing? Is he really gonna... You know, the problem is that she can actually smack me. Oh, so unlucky, man. These guys. Let me take this guy real quick. And then I think this guy. You know what? No, I'm gonna get this. The kids and the youths in Northern America are going hardcore conservative rebel against all the uncertainty created by the infinite line machines. Man, that's such a black and white, like painted statement that it's almost hard to take it seriously. I'm sure it's, you know, there's a segment of population who feels that way. I think it's over for us this match. Too many unlucky things in a row. So I can just relax here in the top lane and do my best to simply win the 1v1 against her. Which I can't do right now because of Graves. Whoa. Yeah, well... Do they have more? They actually do. Very, very rarely do I play against an AP top laner. So... 117... you know, I don't know anything else the person said. But it says 117 Yasuo, so it's kind of funny. Oh no, I can't even go here now because she has ult and I don't, and she's level 11, man. Oh lord, and she's using it. And she's using it. I can cage her. And now this way I can survive, yes. Take that, okay? Take that. Outplayed big. Outplayed big time. Nothing much I can do, just try to outscale her with Leandri's, which I think I can do, because she has a lot of health and stuff. And that's it, and wait for a miracle on my team there on that bot lane or something. She's not doing too good of a job denying me CS and stuff. Believe me, there's going to be a time when there's going to be a Leandri's diff, and she's going to be big mad that that happens. If Graves doesn't bail her out again, I think I can start coming back into the match. Smack. There we go. That's the first. When she doesn't have the thing, does it... Oh yeah, Eternity works well. The good thing about this is that Leandri's will work miracles here in this match. Up. It's too early to be taken seriously. Whoops. Look at how easy it is to win against her, even how incredibly, considering how incredibly far behind I am because of, well, You know, because of all kinds of reasons, okay? All kinds of reasons. I don't have Comet, I have nothing. And she has been poked down. Ah, I hit the wrong thing. Oh man, that's pretty bad. Well, at least I have Leandries, right? At least I have Leandries now. Oops, don't do it. I gotta show her how to freeze now.
What's going on here?
And I will have to do this, by the way. If you liked my BM before, you will like this one. Because now that it's frozen... actually, she's gonna come back and she's gonna break it, so... But the way I suggest you do it is you stand somewhere in the middle here, and let's say she's here, and you do this. And you do this like a scarecrow, right? I talked about this on stream yesterday already. Okay. You do this. And it's really hard for them to do it. Whoops! For her to come back. There we go. Actually, I could do it even without Maiden. Man, she's in such a pickle here. Leandra is just overpowered. Look at her health. The F? Oh, I don't have... Ah, that's so sad. I don't have E. She would have died if I had E there. Okay. Easy. Man, no Maiden, nothing, and 3-0 Cassiopeia just struggling. Just struggling. One more? It is incredibly efficient to hit E, and then last hit something. Whoopsie daisies, what are you doing? She almost died, that's so insane. It is incredibly efficient to hit E. The ghoul jumps if you happen to have one. And then you create a grave. And before the E runs out, you do again. You do the, you know, you Q and he jumps again. What the F is this? Yeah, well... Didn't even need to use Ignite there, my lady. Because there's no way I win this. I can just... Well, yeah. I wonder, what do I get? Do I get Haunting Guys? Probably, yeah. Right? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Bandle Pipes? Honestly, I'm actually kind of surprised because I knew that Leandris is good, but I didn't know it's 3-0 Cassiopeia versus 0-3 Yorick good without Maiden. And getting the first tower. Okay.
What's going on here?
I think Thresh is big time wrong. I think Thresh is big time wrong. If I didn't go AP here, I would never... Whoops. Yeah. I would never have won that. Look at this. 0-4 Yorick versus 4-0 Cassiopeia. With infinite ganks. Sometimes I like top, man. Sometimes I like top. Maybe it's because of the coffee that I drank this morning. Why is she so weak? What is going on? Is that really because she has a lot of health? She has invested a lot of gold in health, and obviously this burns through it. Let me say he poke. Can I get bandle pipes? Yes. Once I have that bandle pipes, whew. Don't care. I win. But it's not my problem. Come on. Am I really supposed to get... Imagine, okay, whatever. Let's say I would be AD. Let's say out of... Right now it's like 50-50 AP AD, right, for me. Let's say it's 70-30, which is something that it would be, right? Whoop, don't do that. It would be something like 70-30. Oh, man, again. Oh, Lord. Yeah. What am I supposed to do here? And actually, you know, if she misses something, I would have survived and won the one. Look at this. Unfortunately, none of this matters right now. Actually, it might matter because of we'll see. They are so hyper... Thresh is so hyper focused on the thing that he noticed that, you know, he has no idea about the damage splits, and he just wants to... You know how sometimes it is that people just are so eager, okay, to criticize without knowing the actual split. Gotta be a bit careful here. If you are wondering what are my two favorite items on Yorick right now, it's the Gluttonous Greaves and Leandries. In that order. What you doing, lady? Maiden coming home pretty soon, so you better watch out. You better watch out. Look at that Leandry's uptime over there. Oh God. Of course there's someone else here. Oh, he's 1-7 by the way, so we could actually win. Okay. He is 1-7, so I should probably attack him, I don't know. What's happening there? You know what? Let me release her and see if I can... There she is. Maybe he burns down a bit. They cannot 2v1 me now here. I think she might be sitting here, so I'm gonna do that preemptive thing there. Okay. Nah, she left. I have some time now. I have some time now before she comes here. Pay attention to the map where Morgana is. Well, she disappeared, so... Okay. Hello, Ericsson. Welcome, my friend. Is it just better to go Triforce? I don't think so. Maybe, I don't know. I've never really... You know what Triforce is? It's an item that kind of lets you transfer skill from one character to another. And if you learn how to use Triforce, it kind of scales into other champions, right? And I've never done that. I've never learned to use it, so you'll probably never see me use it, even if they buff it. How did Varus become 1/7? Is it because of his heart skin? Do skins get lore in League of Legends? Do they? Why does she have that? My lord. My goodness and lord. And all that is... what? If you don't have flash, you have probs. Well, you do have flash. 2 shells, 1 cigar. Is back here at it. Yes, when you go to the wiki, every skin should have a lore. Lore belongs to the fans. I think they write some lore, a little bit of lore. Thresh is asking, yes, I do win. I don't understand. Why is it so hard for him to see that? Maybe next match, exactly. That's actually the right answer, because next match I might roll, you know, Graves and Syndra, and whoever else was there in the top lane all the time. Morgana. Okay. There's a chance for us to just really come back into this game. Yes, there we go. That's just the final insult there. Not really an insult, though. What was this? What was that? That's a lot of numbers. No authorship rights to Rule of Cool. I used to be a lore nerd, then Disney tried to kill Star Wars and I had to embrace longevity of fan-made lore. That's an interesting, you know, I think about this sometimes when people fight censorship. You know, this games don't kill games. You know this this thing. Well, it's about fans being able to control the game after it's dead or something like that. And I was thinking about this when I was thinking, okay, so should you be able to write lore for Gragas? Should you be able to do that, or does Riot have the full authority to write the lore for Gragas? Right? And after a game is dead, let's say the authors of the game, let's say I make a game, and something happens, just leave open in an active service after being closed. But does that, let's say I make a game and let's say something happens in my business, I don't have the money, I cannot make it, still keep it up. So it seems to me like, how can you force somebody to keep it up? I'm pretty sure it applies to big companies. That's often why trash media are made, just to keep IP rights fresh. Was it like the company shutting down servers for games regarding interconnections so that no one can play it anymore even though they bought it? You know, I am all for when you buy something, you should have it forever. 100%. But it's all about, like, it seems to me like if you have it in the contract that, let's say you buy Diablo 2, right? And it has a network part of it. You can play the Diablo 2, like all the acts. Diablo 2 is the game that I know. You can play all of the acts, and you should be able to play all of the acts. But the networking feature of it, probably when you buy it, in the contract it should say, hey, whoops, what are you doing? Hey man, why didn't I... It should say that they are not... I shouldn't be required to provide you forever the networking features. It's just unscalable. It's not, you know, it's not fair. So I guess it's a problem with the contract or something. I don't know. Even if it is, then just don't impede fans. Yeah, but that goes back to what I said about should you be able to write Gragas' lore. Because fans create servers out of your IP, and do you think that you should kind of like get that IP that others made and make it yourself or something like that, you know? Because when you buy a game, you're not buying the rights to the game ever. It's not something that ever happens. It has never happened. You whenever you buy a game or skin or whatever in League of Legends or in any case, you're never buying the rights to the like creation and copying of it. So they stop people from making their own to force you to buy the new thing. I guess, yeah, it's way more complicated than it seems. I would really have to think about it a little bit more and go into details how exactly they do. I think World of Warcraft might be a good example, right? Can we use World of Warcraft here, because that's also a game that I know. But you never buy World of Warcraft, by the way. You only rent it, I guess. There's always there's this saying: if buying isn't owning, then piracy isn't stealing, and it's kind of an annoying saying, because you never buy. If you buy Diablo 2, you don't buy the rights to it ever. You buy the copied version so you can play it. But you setting up a server to run forever, that's completely unacceptable, and it's never been acceptable, and I don't think it ever will be, because, come on, the guys who made the game, they should decide what the game, how it plays out. Oh, actually, no. Let me get this guy real quick. I think it could be a little bit better. I don't know. We'll see. Required people who bought it to connect on all the servers for every part of the game, which was shut down years ago, so I'm not could play anything, even story mode. Yeah, I would be fully like supportive of people keeping, you know, getting to play the game. But again, if it's required, if it's online, you're getting in a pickle. You know, if you're buying a game and it requires online, you know, I don't know. It's the contracts probably need to be more specific. And let's be honest, nobody has ever read any of the contracts. They just scrolled to accept it. Whoops. There he is. Got to lay down the law here. There we go. One more. And now if I get one more Q in, I think I could... Nah, he's going to try it again. Nah. Let him push, I guess. One thing that people, whenever I meet somebody who is against intellectual property, and I get that we can copy things and it's getting easier and easier. And I know that there's this guy, the guy who unlocked iPhone, George Hotz. I like him, but he thinks that IP is completely stupid because you can copy it, basically. And I think that people like him, I think they don't look at it from the perspective of the creators, because, again, the creator should be... If you create a story, it makes sense for humanity to recognize that, hey, you are the guy, right? He can win, by the way. I cannot stay. That's so funny. That's such a champion. I'll definitely die if I stay there, believe me. Ooh, level 3. Level 3. Easy death for me, by the way. Easy. If he hits that axe, I'm dead. A little bit unfair, I would say, but, you know, it is what it is. A little bit of an unfair champion over here. I might have to get Bramble Vest immediately here. In any case, this IP question is very interesting. It's not at all about whether or not we have the technology to copy something or not. It's much more about the rights of the people who create things. And I think we as humans, we kind of recognize that, hey man, you know, this guy came up with this thing, so we should probably let him or her just kind of, you know, if you wrote the lore for the Gragas, that's the canon, right? And everything else is fan. I actually kind of wonder if IP laws are the reason why China are just not, they just don't have anything basically in terms of entertainment. Literally, imagine this, they're one of the biggest countries, right? If not the biggest or the most powerful or whatever. But they have almost zero influence in like media. Hey, how did he survive that? It's kind of insane. Almost zero movies. They have nothing. Maybe it's a language thing though. But what if it's an IP thing? What if it's like in the Soviet Union, when you would create a movie, everybody would say, it's our movie now. And you would feel like, oh, yeah, fine, F it then, you know, then take it, you know. What if art doesn't grow when you kind of make it everybody's, you know? Okay. Yeah, I gotta go back and get that bramble vest. Then we can start talking. Then we can start talking cheese. Then we can start talking cheese. It's how... Actually, I wanted to read what Rax said. When you buy a game, you're buying the game, not the rights. If I buy D4, code it to skip their login server or custom playout, that should be allowed. Yeah, obviously it requires a little bit deeper understanding of those situations. I would imagine I would agree with the stop killing games, but it's one of those things where, whoa, what are you doing, bro? Hit me, please. Don't hit Maiden. Yeah, there we go. I was actually a little bit worried because I didn't know if it's gonna work. But you know, see, he spent 700 and 250, which is 1k. I spent... No, actually, I spent more, so... I don't know how I ended up... Oh, it's because he went back faster. He was forced back faster, so... Actually, gank diff here. If we really overanalyze it, it could be a gank diff here. Yeah. Well, I'm happy. I'll go back. It's how recent China was the recent last coupled with their cultural suppression. Did our growth express space at percent common current. All is fair in war. Yeah, exactly. All is fair in war. Life is 100% unfair. There's no doubt about it. But it's fair in the chaos that it is. You know? So it's okay at the end of the day. I'm of the belief that you are at fault when you were born. People often say, I have some close people who actually believe that it's not their fault that they are on this world. And that's why... Okay. And that's why they shouldn't basically pay rent. That's their belief. Oh, he doesn't have mana. And, you know, come on. No, it was your fault. It was either your fault or the parents' fault. And if it's not the parents' fault, then the closest other thing is you, so... It is a completely unsustainable belief, in my opinion, that if you think that it's, you know, if you... yeah. See how life becomes easy once you buy the right items? But yes, I did have exhaust. Also, I feel like with exhaust, without exhaust, it would still be kind of a fight there. Don't do that. Don't do it, mister. By the way, how about that Rengar gank? He just came in, flown in my face, flied in my face. Flew in my face? Yeah, flew. And left. That's it. How to reverse entropy. Reverse of entropy is just order, so, you know, just clean up your room, that's it. Imagine your father comes in your room and he says, what the F is this mess? And you say, hey, father, I cannot reverse entropy. This is the... this is life. Entropy is everything. Entropy is actually a very interesting idea it's one of those things that just is, and it's not a theory, it just is. It's how things are. I think it's because space is huge or something. No, it's actually no, it's not because space is huge. It's just because it's cheaper to create chaos than it is to create order, something like that. There he is. He took that. Man, I was afraid I'm not going to get it. If you rewind and slow it down, you'll see that the ghoul did just a tiny, tiny nibble there. Okay. I think Rengar's coming, right? Is he? I think he is. Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't go there, honestly, but... Yeah, my bad. My bad. Oh god, now it's all bad because I'm 1v3 here. 1v4 actually, man. How can I escape this? If I had wall, it would be cool. But I do not. What the F is Olaf doing, by the way? Yeah, this is not great at all. This is not great at all. Big bad, by the way, my bad. Okay. I gotta make sure to win these next 1v1s against him because I think there might be a moment where he's just gonna get enough. He's gonna have enough so that, you know how it'd be. We have a 6-0 Ari. And it's not the good kind, the Ari Maddie who makes jokes from Estonia. It's actually a horrific fox. Now, I listened to lore about her, and apparently she was... There was probably more to it, but the thing I took from the lore is that she was bloodthirsty and she killed her lover or something. She wanted to eat his blood or something. And because she was a fox, or she had the fox in her, or something like that. So it was weird, and I didn't listen further. So I didn't even, I did not see how she changed, and what happened for her to change. Smack. There we go. He has absolutely the worst item of all time against me because I don't care about that slow. Ari is based on Japanese folklore. Let me do this. Do a little bit of this. A little bit of this over here. A little bit of this over here in this wall. A little bit of this over here. And E. Well, sometimes it's beautiful. You do this dance and then you hit that E. But this time it was just, nothing really. Sorry, man. Smack. That's pretty effing close, though. It's because I still don't have Leandries. I was kind of playing it as if I have it. So. What the F do I buy now? I have to buy the amplifying tome. I hate the amplifying tome. There's not many things I hate, but the amplifying tome is one of them. Oh, I should have attacked this guy instead of Reng. Mr. Reng. If you're in the bushes, there we go. You're no faker. He hide on bush, but Heathrow dust. The morning mist. I don't get it. Why is it called morning mist? People already throw dust in funerals, so, you know, why isn't it just a funeral dust and that's it? Oh god, I'm trolling. Yes. It seems like there was an opportunity for, hey, you know, we throw 3 pieces of dust. Maybe only Latvians do that, so they don't know about it. On the casket, you throw those 3 pieces, you know. Do you have anyone else does that? That was amazing. Well played. Are you joking? Because I was standing in place and just auto-attacking and pressed the buttons and that's it. I thought morning mist was a weather condition. Yeah, it's like morning. Yeah, but it is M-O-U-arning. It's like when you mourn, not a morning mist. Or you're making a joke again. It is M-O-U-arning. Yeah. As far as in Germany, we don't do that. Hey, guys, I don't int. She be intin'. Okay. I would have liked to get that 1k, but okay. Y'all got any more of that funeral dust? So nobody does it except Latvians? I did throw the, you know, the dust on when it was at my grandmother's funeral. But it was kind of overshadowed by the fact that the casket didn't fit into the ground and, you know, they had to dig the hole a little bit bigger. Yo, grandma, so bad. she would have laughed at this. She was probably laughing when she saw that. That was insane when that happened. I think I already told this story on stream. But yeah. I think it's a Lutheran thing. Ah, maybe, yeah. Maybe. Oh yeah, my grandmother was a Lutheran. Yeah, now I think about it. She actually called herself Luther. She said, "I'm Luther." Which was so funny to me and my brother. Because no one ever says as a like a noun, you know, Luther. I don't want to fight him now. Actually, I should. Oh, he has that thing as well. Interesting. I don't know if I win it. I don't really know if I win it now. Your granny sounded gangster. She was. She wasn't the gang member. Oh, there he is. He's TPing. He doesn't really need to TP. Their team is winning. He can just stay top and play the 1v1. There's no point doing this. Come on, mister. Honeymoon is over. Okay. No, it's not over. Would have been funny if she died there. Did you see how close it was? Pretty close. Oh, she had the boots diff, right? Man, unlucky. Would Comet have killed her? Yeah, maybe. But you can never imagine a game apart from like level 1 trade where you think what would have done and what not, because, you know, the game flows, the early game, all of the variables flow from what you had in the beginning, you know? It is very suggestive thumbnail. What is suggestive about it? A grave digger getting the length of a corpse wrong. It was actually the width of a corpse, you know? So, although it was funny, and I talked about it with everybody I know, as like one of those morbid funny stories, but yeah, the gravedigger effed things up so much that it's just sad. It's very okay. We cannot let her get that ult. Yeah. Gravedigger, man, Gravedigger should have been punched. Because it was so comedic. It's one of those scenarios where you cannot make it up. The casket was slowly being lowered, slowly in the grave, and it was already a big casket, you know. You could casket, I don't know. And we're watching it in slow motion. It was in slow motion, not because in slow motion, but because the process itself is slow. And why is he using that? I don't know. And everybody was, actually maybe not everybody, me and my mother, we knew that it could happen. It's going to get lowered, and it's going to get stuck. And lo and behold, it's like slowly being lowered, and just this sound, you know, this like when wood touches sand kind of forcefully and is forced to stop. Just the sand sound, and it's stuck, and everybody's standing there in silence, and you know, they're lowering the casket with like these beautiful sort of like cloth banners or whatever, these big beautiful cloths. They're using them to lower it, and it's kind of like very satisfyingly sliding down, and then it just gets stick in the you know. And one of the grave diggers, yeah, he took the shovel, just cut the sides a bit, and it was fine. But bro, the F is this guy doing? Okay. My name on Twitch is Pokrick Face. It's casket, even though cask would be grammatically correct. Do you really, when you walk through a jungle, lose the home guard? What? Is that really a thing? Is he waiting for a gank? Oh, no. Sorry, bro. You're not getting that. Sorry, man. I'm taking that dragon. Too late, Mr. Tagi. I know you're mad, but it's too... Oops, it's not too late because she's running over the bushes. Let me hide here. Sometimes you can hide like this. Oh, I didn't even need to hide. Well, fine. Oh, please help me, since I'm doing this. Maid then just took it on the chin. Did you see that? Took the charm on the chin, left the father, let the father just... What? Okay. How are you immediately a subscriber, or is that a different icon? Shouldn't have released Maiden, but itty woodity. Oh, I can take these plates.
Obujka Ganka subscribed.
Welcome to the family. Welcome to the family. Should I wait? Yeah, I'll wait. I don't have Maiden though, but I can be annoying here. I might die, but I think it's okay. Nah, he might be... Yeah, there we go. They had vision. I wonder if I'm in the clear. Nope, I'm not. Well. By the way, subscribers, when you use emojis, they will fly across the screen. Try it. Use it without a text. But yes, you have to be a subscriber. On Twitch. It works only on Twitch. Yeah, you probably have to use more if you want to have a bigger chance of it actually reaching the screen. What you doing, boy? I don't know what he be doing. What I do know is now I have enough. For some new things. Should have stayed, probably. Nah, it's all good. Gotta catch this Ari in the act. Oh, she's not even here. Okay, fine. It's okay to zone like this as Yorick. I know they will flame you for doing this, but it's completely fine to do it like that. Because it's way... You do no damage as AP. I wonder if he goes to Infernal Drake or he comes here for the red buff. He probably went to the Drake, so I have to go there as well. Whoa, 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 whoa! Actually, no, we get the Drake. I'll take the Drake. It's all good. It's all good. Actually, we might not take the Drake because... Oh, who's trolling? Is Rengar trolling? Okay, we'll see. Poor Fizz. Well. kind of thought we're gonna get it, but maybe not. I think they need Olaf if they want to do the Drake. So I don't know what's going on. Yeah, no need for prescription mood stabilizers when you can BM dance. It's not BM. I know people think it's BM, but it's actually it's a positive dance. It's like I'm here, you're here, you know. This is life, you know. I think he dies and we lose. Oh, it's not Soul, fortunately. Then we can let this one slide. If the WW chose so. Even baseball has chatter to distract the batter. Is that a real saying? He says two top, but he's the one who died over here. And that's why that whole thing happened like that. Mr. Warwick just so wrong. Who died over here in those bushes? Who be lying there in those bushes now? Alone. This is very dangerous right now for me to be here, but I'm still gonna do it because who knows? Maybe I get this Rengar, and if I do, it's gonna be a strike to their mental. His mental. There we go. One more Q, yes. Well, it was a little bit of a strike, but not really. Have you tried press the attack and Imperial Mandate? No, I have not. Something I forgot. Just to entice people to donate on the coffee page. Shift K, there we go. I have very low CS this match, by the way. Yeah, but okay, the press the attack. But how is Yorick special? Why wouldn't you just pick somebody else when you want those items?
What's going on here?
Took him for a spin. Rengar took them for a spin. The good thing... Whoa, okay. If he doesn't have anything, we can play the game here. I'm actually not sure, though. One more kill. There we go, man. How many times is this gonna be this close? How many times is this gonna be? Whoops. Yeah. Yo, just read the Maiden of the Shadows lore, and she's actually Viego's wife, or at least the bad side of her. Turns out that Gwen is also part of Viego's wife. Pretty cool, right? Yeah, I know that. It is interesting. It is interesting. Hello, noob. Anybody using Fable today? And what happened? Did the US government unban it, or what happened? I think next time I die versus Olaf, if I don't buy something that can actually make me withstand his little, you know, his little barrage of attacks. I think Rengar's gonna be the only one here. Oh, nobody's here. Well, okay then. They get all the objectives, but at least I can maybe, I don't know, maybe take this tower, the next one. Okay. I gotta stay, even though it's dangerous, you know, I think that's the play for me to stay here. What's she doing? Whoops. Blasted my limit in 30 minutes. So you have 5x, right? Sounds about right. US government lifted the ban but limited the outputs to not include coding. What? No, that's impossible. What are you talking about there? By the way, where's this emoji from? The $100 plan. Yeah, it's 5x. No, I know it's from Twitch, but what is the guy? Who's the guy there? Guys, I had 5.5k health, so what is that about? What is that all about? Can somebody confirm that this thing works together with all the other things? 1, 2, 3, and 4. Total Biscuit. I remember who is Total Biscuit, but I didn't know that he had that face. Hello, I'm Hardstuck Plat, Yorick mid mainer. What is the most carry potential? I am Hardstuck Diamond 4 Yorick player, so I can tell you that with Yorick it's really hard to carry, but I think that if you play mid, you get total lethality, full lethality farmer, which includes the Gluttonous Greaves, it includes the Profane Hydra, it includes the Ghost Blade and all those. And then you just go in jungle and, you know, small farm. Just farm and farm and farm, and that's it. What runes? I like Hail of Blades. So. Okay. Okie dokie. Zerath just blasting everybody. Thanks for the build. Yeah, I think next game, if they give me the mid, you will see me play it. So you will see me play it. Came out when Twitch first took over the idea of custom emojis. There was pro wrestling style drama between company and creators in the Twitch socials. Wow, so much lore there. We don't need to see that. Let's just zoom out. Make this match feel small, okay? We don't need that, you know. But who's the guy? Is that the Total Biscuit guy or what? Is that him? Whoops, sorry about this. I like that lore creates emojis. I like that idea. So what's going on in the world? I promise to not talk about politics extensively, but I want to use the chat as, like, tell me something interesting that is happening in the world. It doesn't have to be politics, but just tell me what is happening where you live. Just to kind of make me feel like I understand the world a little bit better. Doesn't matter where, just where you live. Tell me the most interesting thing that's happening there. I'm just gonna skim through everything, and I'm just gonna see if anything kind of catches my mind. Heat wave. Okay, that's, yes, the heat wave. It's already gone for me in Latvia, but okay, heat wave 1. Doran Shield and Absorb Life. I don't really like that rune. It's, I don't know, maybe top where you just sit there. Maybe. Yeah, very hot in UK. I know that. Minty Darkfinger, welcome. Have you been listening to Tara Reid? Have you seen that he has returned in his comedy show? What was it called? Brothers? Something like Bros? Simi Valley? The people of my community who notice the world order of the city which rules us is bank and are in the early stage of open revolt, what seems to be wide-scale trolling. But what community? Where is that? How big is this community? Same as NASA's jungle. By the way, NASA's jungle works pretty well. NASA's jungle top G. I play versus tower and enemy jungle. If no like, I mute. I did everything. You know? I did everything. There's a very famous video in Latvia where where a lady has not paid her internet bill and she's filming herself while the credit person is trying to get the debt, and she is explaining the debt away by saying that banks have occupied Latvia, and none of the banks are owned by Latvia. And it's so funny because the bill is like $20, you know, and she just doesn't want to pay it because she doesn't like the MasterCard exists in Latvia. Famous for tried money laundering pre-Trump. He's made a song called Mercedes with a bunch of people that I really like. That's all I know. But I listened to that new song. They were in the desert, right? They were in the desert. I like Mr. Terror. I like Mr. Terror. I couldn't really get into the Satan album that I don't even know the name of the Satan album, but Hot Vodka 1 and 2, bro. I wouldn't say it deserves worldwide recognition, because I believe that, you know, whatever is, it deserves whatever it has. But it's really good, you know, quality-wise, it's really good. I probably have said this a billion times because I mention him a lot, but one of his lyrics is that, I think from Hot Vodka 2, one of the lyrics is that something no, I have to actually remember this right, because otherwise you won't understand what I'm talking about. Something about I want to kill myself because MFs are not crossing the line. Go back in time, something when MFs actually used to cross the line, something like that. But the idea is that in rap they used to cross the line, and they don't anymore. 100% agree. And the best example of this is when Slim Shady Eminem released his newest album. I forget what the name was, maybe Slim Shady LP2 or something like that. And whoops, there we go. And he was trying to be edgy so hard, and it just didn't connect. It was just like a missed skill shot. And you know, it kind of felt like, yeah, MFs don't cross the line anymore. Because to me, rap, that's what rap is about. It should be, you know, stupid and almost like dark and weird. Not weird, but storming the gates. Yeah. He was giving the advice on how to steal. Yeah. Remember MGK distract. What do you mean, remember MGK distract? What's the distract? When MFs actually rhymed and crossed the line, yes. I would not advise you to listen to that song because it's weirdly filled with details that you cannot come up, you know, invent. You gain LP last game? No, I did not. We lost it. If you cross lines nowadays, you run into networks of regulations that police culture, society's norms, and a state of heterodoxy. I guess it's a little bit harder to cross the lines now because of the internet. That's what I took from your comment. Oh, no, no, no. I didn't gain from the remake. No. No, no, no. That was just, you know, just Is it Fiddlesticks top? Oh, it is, I think. Interesting. We got that Grand Reckoning Draven. It's not Fiddlesticks. If you can muscle down Olaf 1v1, I think AP Yorick is in the clear. I can't really think of anybody who Olaf cannot muscle down 1v1 with Ignite. And he couldn't. He was close though. But, you know. Over the top nonsense. Yeah. Nonsense, attitude. Yeah. That's cool. That's cool. That's what it's all about, you know. That's what it's all about. Smack. Took his lunch. Took his lunch money. What more do you want from me? Something from Eminem. Whoa, whoops. And sliced and diced him. It's kind of close though. I moved upwards so I can get the grave, by the way. Not because I wanted to troll or something. I'm gonna be level 3 while he's still 1 so I can easily stay. It's one of those big mistakes when you die like this, you come back and you think, oh, I'm healthy. Nah, bruh. You're level 1, okay? So, don't do it. Don't do it. What is he doing? Well, he wanted me to stay, I guess. At least for one more wave? Maybe Fiddlesticks gang? Don't do that. Okay. Oh, I thought that I'm gonna reach him. It's gonna break. It's gonna break one way or another. Yeah, he's waiting for that gank, and I have to be careful here. Okay. Did he use flash? Can someone tell me? Whoops. Oh no. Oh no, no, no. He waited for it. Yeah. Too focused on that flash quest. I bought this just because I don't have enough for anything more valuable. Bum bum bum. Bottom. Quite a big smack there, man. It's quite a big slap I did there. Whoops. I'll take the lunch. Thank you. I don't think he's too happy about the lost health here. What's happening in mid, by the way? Is somebody trolling or what? Inting, letting out frustration, says Evelyn. Letting out frustration. Is that how emotions really work? Okay. Once he gets that level, whoops. It really matters if Fiddlesticks is nearby. Indeed is. Yeah, they're gonna get me, I think. Yeah, burst. This is the way I let out my frustration. I just click those abilities there. I think a better question is, do emotions work? How can they not? They just are. If you feel them, they are. You know what I think is the best question? Why is there, well, a kind of a boring question is, why is there consciousness, right? Because that's the classic question that people ask. But, okay. I think the big question, which really is incredibly mysterious, is that why is there, let's say you build a computer, it can do all the thinking, it can do everything without there being a watcher behind its eyes, right? As a human, if you imagine a human, the human can do anything, everything they do without there being like the experience itself. I guess consciousness is the word, right? So why is it there? That's like the huge mystery. That's, to me, that question is what makes life absolutely mysterious. And that's like the only way I can even it's the only, not the only question, but it's okay. It's the question that can really plunge me a little bit into some sort of religion, but not really religion, more like, what you doing, boy? Not gonna work out. I'm gonna just eat that healing all the time. And then one time what's going to happen is there's going to be some smacking. There's going to be some smacking. One of these days there's going to be some smacking. What is that? Oops, I could have been have to wait for the level up. Oh, there he is. Interesting. Top gap. Where he going? He recalling, I think. No. Which way, modern man? Let me release Maiden real quick. Maiden holding that wave a bit. Actually pretty good. The Maiden held this wave and this is still attacking, right? Not that bad. Isn't that just fancy new words for the old philosophical concept of qualia? No idea. Fancy new words for striking crayon getting cooked. Okay. This is macrolicious. Okay. Yeah, unfortunately I have to use it. Cooked myself a little bit on that tower. Iron sharpened iron. Yeah, of course. You know what? I should have gotten the... I should have actually gotten the bramble vest against them instead of this thing. Because it's a little bit... Whoops. Yeah. Fortunately, the universe is fair, and Fiddlesticks being top so much is helping us win the game. But we gotta be a little bit careful so that they don't actually win the game afterwards because of all that. Da -da 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 -da. Bum, ba-dum. Let me just real quick slap this a few times. Whoops. There's that little cat trick there behind that. Hey, Maiden, why are you inting? Why is Maiden inting? Okay, the ghouls are gonna hit him and I can't... okay, there we go, I can finally. No point chasing him because I don't have boots. Man, 0 mid games on this stream, right? And here I was wanting to play the good old... What you doing, boy? What you doing? Oh, that's what he's doing. He waiting. Okay. More gardening, less geopolitics. I don't even understand, honestly, what politics means. People sometimes say politics of the office. Whoops, okay. Actually, it kind of becomes synonymous with manipulation in my mind. Not because it's always bad, quote unquote, but it's, you know, it just feels like, hey, it's like some sort of manipulation that's happening with either public opinion, your opinion, the other's opinion, you know? Oops. No, 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 please. Oh, my lord. Yeah, this was... I just barely saw him channel that thing. When I had already pressed the TP. Yeah. Politics is the management of people. Yeah, but when people say office politics, they usually mean like all kinds of gossip and stuff, so it's a little bit different there, isn't it? And management of people would be just management, no? Just a manager. If they let old Yorick into League Classic, will you play him? Maybe. I'm more wondering about the graphics of the Classic League. What the graphics looks like. Is politics really management of people? Maybe, because I've never really thought about the definition of politics, honestly. Maybe you're right. Maybe the scale does not matter. Whoops, what are you doing, man? Hasaki. What the Hasaki doing? He's not gonna have a good day if he continues being there. could get nibbled there. He could have a little bit of a nibbling happen. Again, I cannot really catch him because I don't have boots. Draven be int in a bit. Leadership is the management of people. Politics is the management of government and state entities, policies. I tend to a little bit agree with the fact that it's not. Okay. Can I survive this, or is he gonna just drain over there, unfortunately? When I was a little bit younger, I tended to view politics more philosophically. Now I basically only, I think that if people don't address the birthright issue, it's nothing else matters. It's over. If an ideology cannot sustain itself, it's useless. And it's a little bit weird to me personally. Why don't the governments kind of care about it? In Latvia specifically, nobody gives a F. And, you know, when people, especially on the left, they want government to fix things. And very often the argument is that, hey, there are things that the market, quote unquote, cannot fix. And that's when the government steps in. And you would think that one of those issues is birth rates, right? But where it's most important, they're not doing anything. And I don't really understand why. I don't understand why do they not think it's a problem? Okay. So in a sense, it's much simpler for me now. Interesting. No point going there, I guess. You know, I think it's such a glaring problem that people just don't, it's like, okay. Hey, why does that thing slow you? I didn't know that. Yeah. That's not great. It's, you know, I think part of the reason for that is that it's a little bit similar to your own death. You kind of don't think about it, so it's so far out that you don't even think it's serious. I think that's why nobody really cares. It's not that nobody cares, it's just that I feel like governments don't care. And I'm not a big fan of government, but again, it feels like that would be the thing for them to fix, right? And they just don't. They just don't, you know. Once in a while, there's a flyer about families and stuff, and that's it. There's in Latvia, it's actually a little bit funny because in the times of the Soviet Union, what happened was there was actually a tax when you didn't have children. And I think I do not, how to say this? I'm not a fan of taxes, let's just say that. But it makes sense. It actually, if you're going to go that route that the Soviet Union did, it made sense that they were trying to micromanage everything, right? And somebody in Latvia suggested that we do this now. People who don't have children, they should pay 50%. He suggested that, and people ate him alive for that, as they kind of should. But I was sitting and thinking, again, it's people who believe in government, that's the thing, that's the type of a thing that the government should do. So why are you mad? Because it makes sense from the point of view of a left-leaning philosophy where you manage things through through some sort of a governmental action. And he said that people should pay, who don't have children, should pay 50% to the people who do have children. And it's, it's such a, it's almost an evil idea, right? But it's such a childishly simple idea that it leaves you thinking, okay, but then, why not? Why don't the governments do that? Okay. I think he's somewhere there. I'm actually a little bit surprised that everywhere birth rates are low. Even in Russia, for example. I read this argument that they are low because of cameras and people are afraid to mate. And that's a little bit ridiculous, but maybe there's something to it, the technology and stuff. It's all about power. You know that clip from Game of Thrones where Cersei says, no, Littlefinger, as opposed to Minty Darkfinger, right? Littlefinger says that knowledge is power, and then she does the trick with the guards where they just hold him, and then she says, no, power is power. I changed my mind. Don't slit his throat. And I always watch that scene and I think, okay, cool trick, Cersei, but you didn't kill him, so it was knowledge is power, because he is powerless in front of her. But since she did the little trick, but he ended up surviving, he was actually right. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I think the Discord bot might be wrong. We gotta smash this. Well, not today. I do reject the it's all about power because of redacted for information hazard mimetic attachments bigger system alignments. Man, you gotta simplify your language. If I wasn't streaming, I already probably would have trouble understanding your comments. But since I'm playing the game, there's no way. I have the CPU cores dedicated to that. CPU cores free to be dedicated to that. But no offense, you know. I'm just telling you like it is. I like language, and this is since this is my second language, I would go into the words to kind of try to decipher them. But in this case, you know, if you're wondering why I leave a lot of your comments kind of almost semi unread, it's because of that. Do you play Mayhem? No. No, 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 don't go there, please. That's what they want. The enemy team has been doing this for 15 minutes. They bait, and Fiddlesticks just appears from nowhere. Just appears, you know, and we're all shocked. We're all thinking, oh, what is this? Is it... what? What? Including me, by the way, so... You don't really care about too much about the Yorick emote. No, I like this one. This is the emote. That's the only thing I need. It's the Tariq emote, man. He's fabulous, and that's, you know, that's it. Why am I the one getting hit by this? So unlucky. Just the unluckiest Yorick player this match. Getting just ganked the whole game, silently walking around, you know. Okay, I'll go on a tiny break and then I'll be back. Let me frame this in such a way that it makes sense for the stream. Let me frame this whole thing. Like this, right? Yeah. Okay, I'll be back in a moment. Okay, I'm back. Okay. Do you want to see this? Do you want to see this absolutely insanely beautiful video? Oh, actually, well, we'll see later. Maybe we'll see later. Those who know. Please give me advice to climb gold to platin with the Yorick mid. Okay, Victor Henrik. I'm gonna try to show you what I think is the best and most fun way to climb. And go and watch my last video that I uploaded. You will see 2 very good games with this strategy. And this game is going to be what this game is going to be. I'm going to try to explain to you what I'm doing. If I die early, I'm going to suddenly stop explaining things because my words will have no power anymore. You know what I mean? So just like in politics, when the optics is bad, you stop explaining things. You know what I mean? But if I will have a good score, please look at what I'm doing, and I'm gonna try to explain to you how you can actually climb with this. Because I have a theory, I just haven't put it in practice very well just yet, okay? You could be the first one. So Beauty, beauty. Your name is Beauty. Pretty, pretty. Are there any Indian people in the chat? Can you tell me why very often these songs have repeated words? Very often it happens. In politics, we stop explaining things when optics are bad, so in anti-politics we would be annoying. It's actually a good question. It's actually a good question. It's actually a good question. I actually like politics a lot. I even like the part where people at the dinner table become mad. I don't like the fact that someone is suffering, though. You know, let's say your heart feels so bad that you're suffering. I'm not a fan of that. But I am a fan of what somebody before said about the iron sharpens iron, right? That's a good thing. I think I saw Dante's in a podcast with Destiny, of all things. And, you know, what is going on there, you know? Okay, Victor, are you ready to have a specialized coaching session by me? A specialized coaching session by me. Why the F is Riven mid? Okay. This is not going to help you because it's going to be a highly unusual mid lane matchup. So it's going to be a little bit different, you know. I am more Jordan Peterson than I am Destiny. Man, you know, I think I'm more Destiny than Jordan Peterson. But I kind of respect Jordan Peterson a little bit more. I'm just personally a little bit more like Destiny. Because I cannot imagine being as focused and strict as is Jordan Peterson. Wouldn't this build benefit? Yes, it would benefit for approach velocity. But, you know, it is what it is. My cousins all got really into Jordan Peterson's book in 1999. Oh, he's Canadian. Indeed. Let's say you're a Uyghur or marginalized group. Me? Bum ba-dum ba-dum bum ba-dum bum bum. Marginalized group. You know, marginalized groups is just the nature. It's just nature. I don't want to say it's impossible to stop marginalized groups from existing, but I do want to. Whoops, that I don't need to. What the F am I doing? But you know, a lot of the times when I think about political ideas or economic ideas or social, whatever ideas, I think about nature a little bit. And in nature, you know, there's the strongest one and others are marginalized, literally on the margins of the thing. So, you know, it's just how it is. You know, we can try to do something about it. And nature actually does try to do something about it. Okay. Nature, you know. Oh man, she's gonna punish me for taking these, I think. I might lose one. One more. Yeah, there we go. That's boots diff there. Right there. She's gonna try doing that again, but I'm ready. Okay. I am slicing the dice in here, but she doesn't have the shield though, you know. Okay. Elo? You can type rank, exclamation point rank, and you're gonna see it. Is marginalization not something government systems would care about? Yeah, it is. It kind of is. Whoops, almost. She knows I missed it. One of the fascinating battles that I watched and I was kind of like witnessed was back in the day 2 years ago or something. There was this question about what is a woman, and everybody was confused. And that's one of those weird things that went away. It kind of, you know, it kind of went away because I guess everybody became ashamed or something about the conversation, because it kind of went away. I've never, ever since the movie came out, I haven't really heard about it. Sorry for tricking you, man. If you want to see my elo, well, it's D4. Yeah. But it doesn't mean anything to you unless you are in my server, right? Because you don't know how good the people are in the server. Correct? Beauty, beauty. No. Whoop. Okay, now I do it. Now I do it. Hey, 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 please. Please, collect that. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Just, you know, that good old grandma, Rick, preparing that food running away, and she cooking it. Not cooking it, but eating it. I actually lost a bunch of subscribers back in the day when I said that, hey, you know, why is that even a question? You know, but whoops. Oh, no. We can't win this, I think. Actually, we could. Oh, okay, I'll take it. I was trying to kind of go to this question with an open mind and heart, and people just got mad just for the conversation, I remember. I got a lot of comments saying, "Hey man, you know, I watch your videos, but this hate is so much." And I literally didn't say anything hateful at all. You've got an escape plan once Russia with double Z tries to grab Baltic countries. Yeah, I'm gonna go to England and then to Argentina. If that happens, I have some relatives in England, so it's gonna be on. You know, if it happens really fast, if they're trying to do the Blitzkrieg, which you know we all saw how that happened. The 3-day war turned into 4 years. But you know, just in case something crazy happens, since I have a daughter, I cannot risk thinking that there's going to be a Blitzkrieg, and you know, okay. So I would leave pretty fast, unless you know they make me drafted. They draft me. I can't imagine they would draft me though. I don't imagine they would draft me because Europe must have an army, so, you know. I actually absolutely love the conversation about, you know, woman is anything that identifies as a woman, because although it is definitely a language trick which doesn't make any sense, it's a very interesting conversation, because if you really think about it, you are that question itself. It's like it doesn't really make sense. I think in Buddhism, they call it no self, which means that like an actual self, it just doesn't exist anywhere. And it's a little bit similar. If you can, it doesn't matter what you identify as. You know, I would say I identify as a man, right? It doesn't matter, because I am, you know, the clump of cells that sits in the desk, in the chair. I mean, and not even that. Maybe, you know, maybe there's just the body, you know, and there's just the mind. Who is me? I don't know. Which one of those is me? What does that even mean? I know it's kind of annoying to ask this, but that's it's really a thing. Hey, what are you doing? Oh man, I need one more. I needed to sneak that one more in, but I couldn't. So it kind of, for me personally, it opened up a tiny bit of a deeper and more annoying conversation that you might have guessed. But people got big mad about it. I remember. Big mad. And I remember I was trying to get people with this big gotcha question that I personally thought it's perfect. And I said that let's imagine that on Tinder, let's say my daughter is on Tinder and she's looking for a man, and your profile says man, but you only identify as a man. And my question was, what is my daughter supposed to glean from that fact that it says a man? And you would say, you know, the person who would believe in this, you would say, well, nothing. You know, there's no adjectives that would describe me, because, you know, everything is fluid. So my sort of kind of gotcha question was that, so the fact that it says man, it's information free, so you're just trolling me. You're actually trolling my daughter on the Tinder, right? And it didn't work. You know, I thought it's genius. I thought it's a genius gotcha, but it didn't work. Nobody cared about it. So, you know, in politics, I would have to, I still have to think about gotchas. She always has that annoying shield, though. Oh. Okay. To be fair, I didn't lose quite a lot of subscribers. I actually lost a few, like 5. You know what's funny? The classic snowflakes that people tend to call snowflakes that are on the left, they are way less snowflakey than Russians. And I remember I said a very mild joke about Putin, and a bunch I had some comments saying, you don't talk about our president, you know, you talk only about your president, F you. And I thought, okay, I can talk about whoever I want, and why are you so mad? It really speaks to the cult of personality that's there, you know. I really dislike when people have this. I'm not at all saying that all people, you know, love Putin or something, but there's definitely a group that there's this cultish view of their president, and it's like, wow, you know. How are you not ashamed to be so liking a person so much that you're defending that person for, you know, just not even knowing them? You know, they don't care about you. They probably even use you in a lot of ways. How are you not ashamed? You know, honestly, it's not. I'm not trying to say this as a like a real shot at you, man. How are you not ashamed? It's more like, really, I would be ashamed. I would think, hey, why am I in such a cult personality cult? Okay. Okay. Not gonna go there just yet. Are you hard right now? Who is asking that? Why is he asking that? Oh man, that's so funny. It's unique Russian mentality. I wouldn't say it's unique, but it's definitely very strong there. And again, I have a lot of Russian friends. I have a lot of people who are a lot of Russian artists I like, and obviously most of them have been sort of like pushed out of Russia. But there's definitely this like, man, this is our guy, you know, this is our guy. He's doing things. It's not really, you know, it's just, to me, again, to me, it doesn't seem very strong to be like that, you know? Okay, how does that even work? That shouldn't have hit. Don't do that. Oh god. Lux is here. Man, that rabble rouse was pretty effing... That was a solo kill, by the way. I thought that somebody else must have hit her. Okay, that's 1E, by the way. Whoever asked me about the mid carry, right? I really wonder about Russia's future, because it's very hard to tell what's going on there, and if it's in the hands of people or is it not in the hands of people. What's going on there? I tend to usually believe that things are in the hands of people. I'm more, I know it's not, like, it's a little bit of a marginalized view, but I tend to think that it is the people's fault usually. You know, I kind of tend to think that, yeah, it is. I know it's hard. I don't want to put myself, I wouldn't want to be in the position where I have to, like, kind of speak out against the government, but, you know, it's your government, so, you know, it's your problem. You're the closest one whose fault it is. I guess I could say that, you know. Do you ever try playing other characters? No. These days, no. I used to, but now I'm just working on different things. I care about different things. Yorick, I think my channel is gonna... It's just gonna be about Yorick and maybe other stuff like, you know, reviewing animations and stuff like that. But... Whoops. Oh, almost. Man, she was a little bit too close there. Oops, she almost died. What the F? I don't even know about the damage that Yorick can dish out. Do I have enough? No, I have not. No, I don't have enough here. So. Bad apple, whole tree. No, no, I don't mean like bad apple and, you know, everybody's bad. But it's definitely not true that it's only one guy, you know, who's like painting this whole country like that. No, no, no. In Latvia, there's, you know, there definitely is like this. Whoops. A lot of smacks. There definitely is this view that they are better, and that they sort of like almost like deserve to occupy. There definitely is this view. And people kind of think that they tend to argue that, oh, it's because of progress or something. But no, bro, you know, your base race lost. It was a huge base race, capitalism versus communism. And the only reason communism survived that long is because it was putting up a front for like a fake front for like, I don't know, 40 years or something. And then when it crashed big. As it, you know, it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense what happened. Hello, my friend. Welcome. Whoops, that's not the right one. Hello, Dylan. It is people's fault, and sadly most of them are in the same cult you were talking about. I actually wonder about the percentage. I would eyeball it at like something like 70-30. 70% are in the cult. 30 are pretty okay. It's a little bit baffling to me that a country doesn't care that it produces almost nothing for the world. And I say almost because I want to leave a little tiny bit of room for maybe some kind of an export that Russia does. Anything. Like anything, but I just don't know about anything that they export. Whoa, that's a very... Okay. Should have reacted a bit differently. I kind of got scared, honestly. Gotta be very careful here. She might die. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. It's the farm club, so... Was energy. Oh, yeah, no, I don't count energy. Come on. Energy, it's like Venezuela exporting energy. Yeah, well played, well done. You know. Well done, you know. Okay, can I smack them and then turn around? Sorry, yeah, whoops. I'll get it, I'll get it, don't you worry. Oh, actually. My bad. My bad. Do you think Yorick is weaker this season? No, I don't. I actually don't. Could you try to cook up a drain tank build? Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it. Honestly. I don't like the idea of a drain tank. Man, I don't... You can't catch this champion. I don't even want to use exhaust on her because I feel like I'm gonna waste it. What am I doing? 70% of why I use this rune is the very, very, very fast animation that Yorick does. When he Qs. Oh, okay, I'll take that. Export assassins propaganda. I would say propaganda doesn't count as an export, come on. Assassins as well. Do they even have good assassins? Or is it just like, you know, again, kind of like the meat situation? Yeah. What are these fiery things? Whoa. Anybody else? Such a beautiful moment. That's probably the funniest thing that has happened on stream today. Yeah.
What's going on here?
Indeed, what's going on there? Indeed. Make it a short, please. I have to, yeah. I have to. A lot of people watching. Welcome, my friends. Over 100. 110. For me, that's a lot. Consider becoming a subscriber. You know, coffee page, all that. If you enjoy the content, consider all of that. Literally changes the way my brain thinks about things. Once those bucks start flowing in. Okay. What you doing, lady? Almost died. Okay. Bum bum ba-dum. Okay. It's funny how Riven is 0-9. And I feel like she played well, don't you think? Not really well. As much as you can say well if to a person who's 0-9, but it didn't feel like she was hinting. It feels like she was trying to space and whatever. And I think she got unlucky something like 3 times. Whoops. No, no, no. No, 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 no. You know, if you rewatch this moment, look at Lux, what happened to her, and look at what happened to Zed. And imagine Riven not being there. Just slow motion rewatch it. Are you Yorick OTP? Yes. I am a pony that has learned only one trick. Actually, no trick pony, because Yorick doesn't have any skill, any micro. He only has macro. So the only trick I've learned is macro. This is macrolicious. Okay. Sorry, man. Getting smacked. Yeah, Boots first, I think, works even better against mages. Oh man, I will die here. Or will I? It's because of the 15%, by the way. When you are below 50, you have 15% more of a healing there. So this build that you're seeing right now, it really is good, okay? It's not like I'm just having a good game, okay? It really is a good build. Yeah, Morgana, that's true. Morgana is a true spirit animal here today. She really is. Sadly, I'm too bad to play lethality. No. It's the other way around. Lethality is the one that you can play more easily without too much micro. You need to get Profane Hydra and you need to start farming. That's it. That's the beauty of playing Yorick. You don't need to be good at the game. You need to be good at macro and you need to farm, and everything else kind of flows to you. You know? For me personally, the biggest problems I have is when I just overextend, you know, do crazy things. But if I just farm, what happens with farm is not just the gold. You get level, which means you get health, which means in turn that you die less, which in turn means that, you know, everything kind of flows from that. Where is he? Where is the boy? There he is. Missed it. Oh. I could do a double jump. It's been a while since I've done one of those. Okay. Oh. 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 Okay. A glass cannon is a glass cannon, I guess. All this complexity is so new, we should shovel lane more. Exactly. Especially if you just start this game, just farm. Just try to farm, and they are going to do what they're going to do. You're just going to throw a random E once in a while, and I guarantee you it's going to be easier to play like that. Because this is not LCS, this is not MSI. The Yoricks that they play in MSI, it is very, very, very unlikely you're gonna have any kind of games like that. Any, because they're not even playing Yorick, by the way. There, Smack. They're not even playing Yorick there. They are playing a counter pick with a highly specialized draft pick against the opponent team. They would never play Yorick as Yorick, you know? You know what I mean? So don't be afraid to play lethality. The thing about the lethality, when you have these boots, these boots actually unlock almost like a better version of lethality that ever was. Because you, apart from the very old days where you would have, okay, you could buy the Eclipse and it gave you a shield and a heal. Apart from those days, this is stronger than it ever was. And you don't have to... Okay, I'm gonna ambush him. Let's do this. Oh, so it doesn't work, the crystalline structure, when no one's there for some reason. Well, today I learned. Today I learned that it does not work. Okay. What the F? Did you... Oh, I didn't know that Morgana... Wow, I didn't know this interaction existed. So he picked her up, she had the shield, so he just jumped on his own. That's funny. It's funny. Rabble roused harass. Pretty strong. Oops. I needed it fast back, so it's all good. Well, he smashed her. Would you say the boots are like Warwick's Eternal Hunger passive? Well, it's in that direction, but I wouldn't say it's like that. Okay, Grip God. Would you say this is a good enough build to reach Challenger with? Yes, I would say that. But my deeds have not yet... They don't back up my words. Because this is D4, okay? This is D4. 40 LP. So... yeah, there's way too big of a wave for them to do anything. Ugh. I woke up at 4:30 a.m. today, so excuse me for yawning. You are Challenger to me. I am Challenger, you know, in a sense I am Challenger. In a very, very real sense I am Challenger. Why did everybody die? Why are we extending this game? What is she doing? I think Zed could, you know. Final insult? Almost. Saved by the bell. Well, thanks for watching the stream. Mist Absorber lived. Exactly. Thanks for watching the stream, and I will see you next time. Okay? I will see you next time. Thank you for being here, my friends. Striking Canyon. Crayon, not Canyon. Capo. Corpy. Manina Bear Suit. Sancho. Ahmezo, Dellen. Yeah, these boots are pretty good. I'll give you that. And yeah, thanks for watching this, and I'll see you next time. Enemy, hero, I'm sorry. Idi would it. Idi would it.